Hello YouTube, Jumpy23 here. Welcome back to my FE8 0% LTC, and today we have Chapter 16. As we move out of the mid-game and into the late game, video lengths will get a lot shorter, except for Chapter 18, because we now have Warp. My first barrier staff served me admirably so far, but I need even more of them to complete my staff rank grinding. I have to sell something, for the first and last time since Namie's inventory, to afford them, which felt like a betrayal of my principles, but it must be done. Chapter 16 is the last map in the game which differs between Erica and Ephraim Route. It's a siege where on Ephraim Route you start significantly further from the throne than on Erica Route. However, the trade-off is that the enemies near said throne are weaker and your lord is stronger. I'm going to take advantage of this by actually dumping my base stats plus 1 Dracoshield, Ephraim, in range of the boss on turn 2 and it will go fine. Kinda. This is the second turn save, which absolutely requires Super Cormag, because without a 10 move unit, you just don't have the tiles to seize on turn 3. Speaking of which, Cormag just used the boots. I'm also running out of side objectives to care about. For the rest of the game, maps themselves will provide literally one side objective worth getting in Chapter 19. Aside from that, Tana needs to hit level 10 here, and I grind some staff rank and XP on our staffers, and that's it. Moulder needs to promote before Chapter 18, and he's 3 warp uses away from having enough XP for that. But you also need 3 warp uses to turn 4 Chapter 16 and 17, so that's fine. Moulder does some cool rescue tech here, using take and give on subsequent actions with a dance in the middle to put Ephraim in Cormag's saddlebag without Cormag moving. Most of the time, it's more efficient to dance your mount than your warper, but the deployment slots don't work out for that here unless you promote Moulder by now, which I don't think is possible. Warp giving a ridiculous 85 XP is funny. This is not the last time that will be relevant. If Cormag had moved 10 up here instead of 9 up and 1 right, he would cross a line which triggers everyone in the throne room to move, which would be very bad. It's Chapter 16 and Josh keeps contributing. At this point 10 strength is kind of low, which is just right for setting up a kill for Tana. There aren't enough enemies for level 10 on the west though, so I rescue Tana back south so she can kill Myrmidons on turns 2 and 3. Cormag needs to get hit by both enemies here because his HP must be very low. If he had eaten either the Talisman or the Angelic Robe, his HP would be too high to do an AI manip next turn. He also had a Steel Lance equipped to reduce his avoid. The Dragon Spear may be for dragons in theory, but it's just a 10 might lance with solid hit and too many uses, so Duessel uses it here to chip this Myrmidon for Tana. Joshua cleans up this guy just to have fewer moving parts for this unreliable enemy phase. Which I fumble rigging a bit, but didn't bother to re-record. Friendship ended with Natasha. Now Saleh is Tethys' best friend. He must use 2 Hammernes and 9 barriers across 9 turns to reach his staff benchmark. Time for the magic to happen. I absolutely can't have Ephraim getting blocked from seizing, so we need everyone possible to target Cormag. The Knight goes for Ephraim first, but Regenleaf can clean him up. We do need the Knight to miss though. With Cormag's HP so low, and thanks to the Dracoshield on Ephraim, Cormag and Ephraim end up at about the same HP after a round of combat with a Swordmaster. Cormag's one-use Steel Lance makes the difference, and the first Swordmaster will target him. Now that Cormag is in death range and Ephraim isn't, the next Swordmaster will also target him. Cormag swapped to a Slim Lance to increase his avoid to dodge the hit. These druids could fuck us up, but none of them move. The first one can still kill Ephraim with Nosferatu, but after a dodge, the other two just use Eclipse on Cormag, which has like no hit. As long as Ephraim is still at full HP, Orson cannot kill with the Rune Sword. The Erica version of this throne room is famously threatening. The Ephraim version is sad, pathetic, and hilarious, with druids who impotently whiff Eclipse, and swordmasters with 21 attack and 18 speed. Tana reaches level 10 with a good bit of XP to spare. I guess I didn't have to rig so hard in chapter 12 for her. And the last thing that happens on this map is Cormag finishes off Orson with an extremely unreliable Horse Slayer crit. 35 displayed hit and 3 crit. We seize, and that is chapter 16 completed in 3 turns. After his promotion, Ephraim is actually just barely competent. He can double in 1 round Baals in chapter 18 and survive 1 hit from them. Erica can't fight, but her promotion's not actually worthless either. She gains Canto and better aid, which will be essential in both halves of Final, where she's force deployed with a good starting position. Thanks for watching.